There's something I want to help you take a look at and explore. And if I look back on my own journey with MS, and I remember back to around the diagnosis phase, kind of looking at things and thinking, why did this happen to me? And I remember going through a phase where I thought, I hate this. I hate my MS. I'm mad at my body. I had a lot of anger and resentment towards what was happening to me. And I was focusing on it from that perspective, from an away from pain kind of strategy. So I would look at my MS, I would look at my diagnosis, I looked at the symptoms that I was dealing with and thought, okay, what do I need to do to get away from this? How do I make this stop? And this is one of the biggest things that I help clients with now when we're dealing with quit smoking, or if it's weight loss, or if it's any big health related thing as well. It's like, how do we shift perspective a little bit there? Because if you're focused on getting away from pain, it never is really gone. There's always going to be a list of things that you can come up with that are things that you don't want in your life. But most of the time, if we focus on what we do want, it's a really short list. When I ask clients, what do you want in our first session working together, some people get emotional even hearing that question. Some people are like, I don't know. I've never been asked that before. And so this is a question that I'm going to invite you to start asking yourself more. What do you want? If you were to imagine yourself 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, what do you want? I've done some exercises with people through social media who've connected with me from regarded to, in relation to my MS story, who are dealing with similar struggles and have said, like, what did you do? What was the difference? What are the things that you changed in your own life? When it comes to nutrition, yes, I made a lot of changes. I removed a lot of foods, especially initially. There were changes I made in terms of movement, in terms of the things that I consume digitally, electronically, from the people around me. But one of the biggest things that you can do for yourself, and you can start now, and it's free, is start taking a look at your mind and the things that you're focusing on. Because your unconscious mind is always trying to prove what you focus on right, is always trying to prove the thoughts that you focus on most right. So for me, when I focused on MS, I hate this. This sucks. I don't want this anymore. The unconscious mind doesn't understand negatives and it can't flip them to positives. So I don't want symptoms. Delete the don't. What do you get? What's left? I want symptoms. Oh, here, have some fatigue. Oh, here, have some brain fog. This is what she wants, clearly. Okay, so yeah, let's prove that to her. And when I started to shift that, I'm not saying this is the only thing that made a difference, but it made a really big difference to start focusing on what are the things that I do want. Every day I'm getting healthier and healthier. I have done dozens of people on Instagram and TikTok using that mantra, that little saying for themselves every day. And the stories that I hear back from people who are like, oh, my legs were numb before and they're not now. I used to go for a run and then I had to come home and I had to sit down or lay down or go for a walk, had to sit down or lay down because my legs were wobbly. Now they're not. The mind is incredible. And when we give it support and we allow it to shift towards what are the things that we really want, it's amazing what comes up. But if you stay in a place like I was for a long time and continued to focus on anger and blame and being mad at my body, at the universe, at God, at all of these things for doing these things to me, my unconscious mind kept saying, oh yeah, I can give you evidence of that. Here you go. Here's another symptom. Oh, she wants symptoms. Oh, here's some more things that are going to get in your way. What if you start changing that today? Here's my challenge for you. If you're listening to this podcast episode, come up with 1, 2, 3 lines of what are the things that you actually do want. And if you want to message me on Instagram, that would be amazing. I'd love to have this conversation with you and encourage you forward. But the whole goal here is that we have so much more personal power than we were ever led to believe. And when you start stepping into that and start taking advantage of it, it's amazing the things that will show up for you. And so why not? Why not give it a try? What are you manifesting in your world, or whatever you're manifesting in your world right now, Consider what are the thoughts that you've been thinking for the last hour, week, month, even the last couple of years. And often when I work with someone, when there's autoimmune, when there's MS, and looking at my own journey as well, I can trace back to the months, years, and the things that I was focused on leading up to that, or the situations that I went through leading up to that, that changed my thinking, that eventually landed in an MS diagnosis. So if I look back now, I don't blame God, the universe. I don't blame my circumstances. I don't blame the things that were happening to me. I look at it as like, oh, okay, what can I change to move forward? I was diagnosed a little over 20 years now, and I've been symptom free since 2016, so almost 9 years. And what changed? Yes, there were some physical, some biochemical things that changed, but I honestly believe that the biggest shift and the biggest thing that's kept me in the place where I'm at is the change and constantly evolving work I do on mindset and on beliefs. I was raised to believe that if there was something wrong with you, medicine was the only answer. And so I went that path. And when it wasn't working, I thought it was my fault. I thought I just needed to be a better patient, so I did that. And eventually I realized, crap, this isn't working. This isn't working for me. And so if your beliefs are causing suffering in your life, only you can change them. But the beautiful part is you do have the power to change them. 10 years ago, if you had told me that I would be an NLP and hypnosis coach or doing anything mindset related, even anything nutrition related, I probably would have been like, you are crazy. That's too woo-woo and out there. But amazing things can happen when we start really trusting our body and trusting ourselves and realizing that illness or symptoms, they're all just messages from the body. I posted something yesterday, I believe, that was talking about a pattern that I see over and over again working with clients with MS is there was some sort of, the holistic psychologist calls it the parentified daughter. So that's the child who grew up really young or had a lot of responsibility from a young age, or maybe in the family now takes on a lot of responsibility and always, as a result, puts themselves last. And so I posted something about that, and a woman was a little bit upset about it and just saying, oh, so as a result, I was given MS. And maybe, but it's understanding and looking at it from the perspective of what is my body trying to show me? What have I been not paying attention to that maybe I need to pay more attention to? How could I support myself or take care of myself? And it's not about putting everyone else last. It's understanding that if you're neglecting the parts of you that need something, the body's going to continue whispering to try and get your attention. But when it's not working, that whisper turns into a scream. And that scream can be difficulty walking, numbness, tingling. When it comes to MS, brain fog is a big one that we often see, pain. I had nerve pain for like 5 years, like chronic sciatica kind of feeling. And in hindsight, looking back, it's like, I wish I would have known that just like being stubborn and fighting my body was not the solution. Because once I shifted that, like changes have been massive. There is so much more you can do for yourself. You have so much more personal power than you've ever been led to believe. And a lot of it starts in the mind. So I hope you'll take me up on that challenge and come up with 1, 2, 3 lines of what you want. What do you want? And repeat those to yourself over and over and over again. As I said, you can take mine if you want, the one that I have a bunch of people on TikTok and Instagram saying, every day I'm getting healthier and healthier. Every day I'm getting healthier and healthier. And then look what comes up for you. And message me and let me know. So I hope you got some value from this. I'm Kate. If you would like to have a conversation, I'll also put the link in the show notes for this to book a free screening. Essentially, it's just about connecting and figuring out what are your biggest frustrations and how can I help you moving towards what you do want and what do you want. So I will talk to you again soon. It's Kate from Aligned Natural Health. Wishing you all the best.